Good morning and welcome to West Coast Grandma. Well, today I've got a few things on the go. I just started some sourdough bread and I'm ongoing drying my herbs in my dehydrator to make tea for the winter. But today also I have so much basil. So I thought I'd whip up a batch of basil pesto, which I keep in my freezer in small jars that I've collected. So I'm going to just take you out, show you my basil in my greenhouse, and we're going to get back here and make some pesto. Here we are coming into my greenhouse, and look at all the basil. It is just growing like crazy, and I've been picking big bunches of it and giving it away. So now I'm going to pick a bunch and make pesto for myself. Okay, I'm just going to start picking away, and I always pinch it right down to the next set of leaves. That way it keeps growing and gets thicker and thicker, which is probably why I have so much basil. So I'm just gonna spend a couple of minutes here and I am going to pick a fair bunch because I'd like to make a fairly big batch of pesto. I have just been organizing a few things here in my kitchen. So I rinsed off the basil and I put it in my lettuce spinner just to get the water off, and I picked off any big stems. So now all we're going to do is pack it in. This is a 4-cup measuring cup, and my recipe calls for 2 cups. So I'm thinking I might be able to do 2 or 3 times. So when I put it in, I kind of push it down like that. You can sort of tell when it feels kind of full. There, that feels like 4 cups. There we are, and I'm going to just pop it into my food processor. Now, I normally make this in my blender, so we're just going to see how it turns out today. Let's try and see if we get 2 more cups here. I think we probably will. Yeah, because this is a 4 cup. So I would say that's another 2 cups of basil. So that means I'm going to do my recipe 3 times over. There we are, and I'll move these out of the way. So the next thing I need is 1/2 cup of oil. So times 3, that's going to be 1.5 cups of oil. There's 1, and I need another 1/2. There. Okay, 1.5 cups of oil. Now I happen to have pine nuts. You can use walnuts. There's a million different ways to make pesto, but these big bags of pine nuts are like $30 at Costco, and I just keep it in the freezer, and that way I don't have to worry about them going rancid. So let me get another measuring cup. So my recipe calls for 1/3 cup of pine nuts. This is 1 cup measurement, so I'm going to do it times 3. So I want 1 cup of pine nuts. Now, I went through my box of garlic because my garlic is almost done, and I did find a few cloves that are still okay. So I am going to pop, what does it call for? 3 medium cloves. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Here's my little pot of garlic cloves. This was my great grandmother's sugar basin. My mom used to tell me it was on her table when she was 16. So that's pretty old. It's probably over 100 years old now. There, 1, and we'll put 1 more in because we all love garlic. Just like I say, trying to use up the last of the garlic. I did plant a lot of my garlic. That was kind of what I saved my garlic for, to plant a new crop every year, because I don't buy the garlic bulbs when I'm going to plant. So anyway, that's just the leftover ones. So now we have the garlic, and I need salt and pepper. I'll taste it later, but I think I'll put 3 spoonfuls in, and we'll put probably 1 and bit. So that's probably a little over half a teaspoon of pepper. So let's see if this will blend in my food processor. Looks like it is. It's not quite as fine as if you did it in the blender, but totally looks good. So I'm going to get some Parmesan cheese. Now, I really hate always pulling out things from Costco because I don't always love Costco stuff. It's the quality I just don't think is 100%. But anyway, I need a fair bit of Parmesan cheese, so I am going to use my Costco Parmesan cheese. I sometimes just put all the Parmesan cheese in when I take it out of the freezer after, like I don't always freeze it with the Parmesan cheese, but today I'm going to. So let's put a little bit more in. And I think we're going to put about a tablespoon of lemon juice. And let's just give that a whir. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm going to get a spatula and just scrape down the sides, just so that we don't end out with any really big pieces of basil. So I could probably do this 2 or 3 or even 4 times with the amount of basil I have. If I just let it grow for probably a week, I could probably go out and pick this much again. Alrighty, I'm going to give it a taste. We love pesto. It's good on sandwiches. It's good with it for a quick dinner with chicken on pasta. Oh, so good. Needs a little bit more salt. So I put 3 of these in, but that was probably equivalent to about 1.5 teaspoons. So I'm going to put 2 more. Actually, I'm going to put 3 more. So that'd be like a good 2 to 3 teaspoons of salt. Give that one more mix. And voila, we have basil. Basil pesto. Like I say, you can use a lot of different things. You can use kale, you can use garlic scapes. I've tried so many different things. Even onion tops, green onion tops makes good pesto. But today, we're going to make our traditional basil pesto. That is so good. So when you take it out of the freezer, these are all my little jars that I've collected. And I'm just going to fill them, probably 1 inch from the top and put them in my freezer. Take it out, thaw it out, and you have a meal. You can probably add a bit more Parmesan cheese when you go to cook your dinner, or you can just use it on sandwiches. You can use it for pretty well anything. So I am just going to put this basil pesto into my jars. And you don't really have to worry about getting out the air bubbles or anything with this because it's not being processed. And I just find that it freezes so well. So let's get a bit more in here. I mean, these are nice instant meals. So I'll have to clean my jars up a bit because I'm a little bit sloppy. But you can see how easy that is. And like I say, if you didn't have pine nuts, we almost always have walnuts in our cupboard. So walnuts is totally fine. There. Looks like I'll get a few jars, maybe not quite as many as I thought. But like I say, I'll probably make this a few times. So let me get these all cleaned up and then I will show you how much it made with the 6 cups of basil. So I got 6 jars of pesto out of that batch. So basically that's like 1 cup of basil per jar. And this is probably enough to feed the average family if you're making like a chicken pesto dish or something like that. So anyways, I hope you'll give it a try. It is delicious. West Coast Grandma is signing out.